This 17 News at Noon podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Noon podcast, where we share your news on your schedule. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us for 17 News at Noon. I'm Maddie Jansen. A man was killed this morning in a crash on Norris Road in North Bakersfield, and that crash shut down a portion of the road for several hours. It happened on Norris between Airport and Pegasus Drives. CHP officer Robert Rodriguez says the driver of the white Honda Civic you see in the video here was driving at a high rate of speed when he slammed broadside into a truck exiting a business. The driver of the car was not wearing a seatbelt.
You always have to wear a seatbelt. Seatbelt laws are in place to keep us safe while we're in the vehicle. That's one thing that we can actually actively do as a driver and as a passenger to keep ourselves safe in the vehicle. It's going to increase increase the average of surviving a crash, as well as limiting our exposure to injuries.
The other driver was not hurt. Meantime, a motorcyclist was killed in Oildale last night. According to CHP, a motorcycle and Ford Explorer crashed just before 7:30 p.m. at Sequoia Drive in Roberts Lane. No other information about this incident has been made available at this time. Fentanyl was the leading cause of death for Americans ages 18 to 45 last year, and local leaders held a forum last night to talk about this silent epidemic. Bakersfield Recovery Services hosted the event, which included a Q&A panel with District Attorney Cynthia Zimmer, along with representatives from Bakersfield Police and the Kern County Sheriff's Office. They discussed the destructive nature of fentanyl and its impact on our community and criminal justice system.
In the last 5 years, each year as we go, the fentanyl overdose fatalities are doubling. So we looked at the statistics since about 2016. This year, we had over 200 fatalities, and that's more than homicide cases, murder cases in Kern County. And so that was, last year was about 125, and this year we have over 200, and we haven't even finished doing the autopsies.
Put people into contact with resources that they need.
If you missed the forum, you can watch it in its entirety on our KGET Facebook page. And for comprehensive reporting on the fentanyl crisis, including Robert Price's in-depth series, Fentanyl, the Counterfeit Killer, visit our website, kget.com/fentanyl. In those reports, there are numerous profiles of local families who've lost loved ones to fentanyl and resources you can use to protect those you love. And now to the coronavirus in Kern County. More than 2,300 new cases of the virus were reported today by Public Health, 2,351 cases to be exact. No new deaths were reported. Our death toll remains at 1,974. It appears that our hospitalization rate may be plateauing, with 313 people hospitalized with the virus locally, one fewer than yesterday. 55 others are fighting for their lives in area intensive care units. That number is the same as yesterday.
Hello, this is Tim Callahan with Clinica Sierra Vista, and we're excited to unveil the Community Health Center of the Future, our comprehensive care center. It's located right across the street from Memorial Hospital. We have every service under one roof, from family medicine, OBGYN care, dental services for adults and children, behavioral health, and much more. So find your way to better care at Clinica Sierra Vista this year at our comprehensive care center. Visit our website, clinicasierravista.org, for the latest on this project. We'll see you soon.
Now taking a look at local unemployment with the latest data just released this morning. Those numbers show that Kern County's unemployment rate went up last month. The rate for December rose to 7.7%, up from 7.4% in November. Still, the rate was far below the year-ago estimate of 10.8%. That compares to unadjusted rates of 5% for California and 3.7% for the country during the same time period. In your 17 Crime Watch now, Bakersfield residents tell 17 News mailbox thieves continue to sweep through town, getting away with mail and important documents and packages. Breaking into mailboxes is a federal crime that saw a 600% jump from 2017 to 2020. It's punishable by up to 5 years in prison and a fine of upwards of $250,000. That has not stopped some thieves from emptying entire mailboxes. Officials say you should collect your mail daily to prevent losing anything valuable. The federal crime can be reported to the USPS hotline at 877-876-2455. Smash and grab thefts aren't just on the rise around the country. It's happening here at home, too. Bakersfield police say professional thieves are on the prowl for valuables in cars, many targeting upscale parts of town to nab high-priced items. A Kern County resident tells 17 News that thieves descended on her vehicle at the marketplace in southwest Bakersfield. She says she left her car for a few minutes to grab a Starbucks order, and that's when two men reportedly smashed her passenger window, making off with valuables like her purse and laptop.
In an ideal world, you could leave, money sitting on your seat, and it would be safe. But the reality is that you can't do that. So please, please, please lock your vehicle and put anything that's extremely valuable. Take it with you or put it in the trunk.
Police data shows Bakersfield residents reported more than 2,400 car burglaries last year, but police believe many aren't being reported. They say reporting is the only way possible to get your items back. From our 17 News follow-up file now, today marks 13 months since little Oren and Orson West were reported missing from their home in California City. The brothers were reported missing by their adoptive parents on December 21st of 2020. 17's Christian Galano took a deep dive into this investigation last month. You can watch his full report at kget.com. Meantime, anyone with information on the boys' whereabouts is encouraged to call BPD at 327-7111, or you can remain anonymous by calling the secret witness line at 322-4040. The Bakersfield Police Department is inviting the public to join a virtual workshop detailing the agreement between BPD and the State Department of Justice. Last August, the Justice Department announced that BPD had resolved allegations related to unjust policing on communities of color, which triggered a probe into BPD's operations back in 2016. BPD signed a 5-year plan overseen by a court and an independent monitor to keep an eye on officers and ensure that the revision and review of practices, policies, and procedures. Next Thursday, you can join representatives from BPD and the independent monitor for a panel discussion about that agreement and how the monitoring process will work. It's happening at 6:30 p.m., and we have a link to register on our website, kget.com. Just click the hot link icon. The new Kern County Fire Department recruits showed off some of their skills that they learned during their time in the academy last night at the Olive Drive Fire Training Facility in Northwest Bakersfield. Demonstrations included putting out a car fire and dealing with an auto wreck using tools like the jaws of life. Earlier in the day, Kern County Fire Chief Aaron Duncan called the fire service one of the greatest, most rewarding careers ever.
I'm excited for our recruits. I'm excited for our community. We bring the top people of the Kern County Fire Department, and now they get to assist the public.
Recruit Academy 212 received their first firefighter badges yesterday, marking the first firefighter recruit graduation ceremony of the year. Former Bakersfield Fire Chief Anthony Galagaza's son, Luke, was one of the graduating recruits. He's now a third-generation firefighter. Congratulations to all of our new firefighters. Well, the Bakersfield City Council approved nearly $11 million in funding to assist with the construction of 40 affordable housing units in central Bakersfield. The proposed new apartments are set to be built at the corner of N and 6th Streets in central Bakersfield, consisting of apartments, a manager's unit, a common area, outdoor amenities, and community room. The project is being funded through Measure N and is expected to begin at the start of next month with completion in December. Welcome back in entertainment news now. Actor and comedian and game show host Louie Anderson has died. His publicist said the funny man had been battling cancer. Like many comedians of his era, Anderson's big break came when he had the chance to perform on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson in 1984. He later hosted the game show The Family Feud for 4 years, then made several appearances on movies and TV shows, including the critically acclaimed Baskets, for which he won an Emmy. Louie Anderson was 68. Rock superstar Meatloaf has passed away. His wife made the announcement overnight on his official Facebook page. The rock musician, born Marvin Lee Aday, was reportedly surrounded by loved ones in the hours before he passed. He was 76. Meatloaf was well known for his Bat Out of Hell album and his role in Rocky Horror Picture Show. He also put out the 1993 single I Would Do Anything for Love. Well, Adele is postponing her anticipated Las Vegas residency because of the pandemic. The British singer apologized to fans in a teary video posted to social media Thursday. She said efforts to mount the show had been absolutely destroyed by delivery delays and COVID, adding that half of her team and crew have come down with the virus. Adele was set to perform 24 shows at Caesars Palace Hotel starting today. She's promised to reschedule all of those shows.
The 17 News at Noon podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.